There is a law, an unseen force that orchestrates life with perfect precision. Everything you seek, everything you long for is not lost, it is not delayed. It is already moving toward you even now, in ways beyond what the senses can perceive. But to receive, you must first become the person who has it. Act as if everything is unfolding in divine order. Walk through your days with the quiet confidence of one who knows. Who knows that nothing is missing, that nothing is out of place. Do not beg, do not chase, do not plead. Simply assume that all is well. That assumption alone shapes the invisible into the visible. You may wonder, but where is it? Why hasn't it arrived yet? The impatient mind asks this because it does not understand that time is an illusion. Your desires are already a reality, waiting for you to align with them. The moment you surrender the urge to force things, you allow the unseen to become seen. Consider the seed planted in the earth. The gardener does not dig it up every day, demanding proof that it is growing. He trusts, he waters, he waits, and then at the appointed hour, life bursts forth. So it is with you. Your desires are already planted in the soil of reality, and they will sprout when the time is right. If you feel lost, if you feel behind, understand this: nothing is missing from your life. What belongs to you cannot be taken, and what is meant for you will find its way effortlessly. Your only task is to become the version of yourself who already has it. Think, feel, and walk as if it is already yours. Because it is, there is no need to struggle, no need to strive. The moment you trust, the moment you rest in the knowing, you will see everything has been coming to you all along. Imagine for a moment that you are already the person who has everything you desire. The wealth, the love, the health, the peace of mind, it is all yours. You do not chase it. You do not question it. You do not wonder when it will arrive. You simply know. You walk through life with the quiet certainty of one who has already received. This is the essence of assumption. It is not mere wishing or hoping. It is a profound knowing that what you desire is already yours. Your world, the external reality you experience, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Whatever you assume to be true about yourself, about life, and about your circumstances is precisely what manifests before you. You are never at the mercy of chance or fate. Instead, your assumptions create the lens through which you perceive the world, and in turn, the world reshapes itself to match that perception. When you assume something to be true, you do not question it. If you wake up in the morning and assume it is a bright, beautiful day, you step outside with an openness that allows you to notice the warmth of the sun, the freshness of the air, the vibrancy of life. But if you assume it will be a difficult day, your mind filters reality to prove you right. You notice every inconvenience, every delay, every reason to feel frustrated. The external world has not changed. Only your assumption has. Consider what happens when you apply this principle to something greater, your desires. If you assume wealth is difficult to attain, you will unconsciously make decisions, take actions, and interpret events in ways that reinforce struggle. If you assume love is scarce, you will find reasons to confirm this belief, noticing rejection over affection, loneliness over companionship. But if you assume that what you desire is natural, effortless, and already unfolding, your mind begins to guide you toward that reality. You no longer work against yourself, you align. The key to assumption is that it must become your natural state of being. This is not about forcing a belief, but about shifting into a new awareness. A person who assumes success does not need constant reminders that they are successful. They live as though it is already true. They carry themselves with confidence, make decisions from a place of certainty, and attract opportunities without strain. Likewise, someone who assumes love is abundant does not beg or chase. They simply embody the energy of one who is already deeply loved, and the world mirrors this back to them. Doubt is the enemy of assumption. The moment you begin to question how or when your desire will manifest, you weaken your position. Assumption does not rely on proof, it creates proof. The seed planted in the soil does not demand immediate evidence of growth. It rests in the knowledge that in due time the roots will take hold, the sprout will break through and the unseen will become seen. Your desires function the same way. Assume their fulfillment and let time work on your behalf. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have is that they must first see evidence before they can believe. But this is the reverse of how reality operates. You must first believe, first assume, and only then will the evidence appear. Everything begins in the unseen. The chair you sit on was once only an idea in someone's mind. The home you live in, the technology you use, the relationships you cherish, all of it first existed in thought before becoming tangible. Assumption is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. If you wish to transform your life, begin here. Assume you are already the person you desire to be. Speak as they would speak. Walk as they would walk. Feel as they would feel. Do not wait for the world to change before you shift internally. Change first and the world will follow. It has no choice. We have been conditioned to believe that time is a rigid force, something that moves forward in a straight line, dictating when and how things unfold. But what if time is not what we have been taught? What if everything you seek already exists, not in some distant future, but in a reality just beyond your current perception? What if the only thing separating you from what you desire is your own belief in time as a barrier? Time is an illusion, a construct of the human mind. It is a tool we use to organize our experiences, but it is not an ultimate truth. In reality, past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. The only reason you experience life in a linear fashion is because your mind has been trained to perceive it that way. But when you begin to shift your awareness, when you align yourself with the understanding that what you seek is already here, you unlock the ability to bring the unseen into the seen. Everything you desire is already complete. The success, the love, the health, the wealth. It is not something you are waiting for, it is something that already is. The reason you have not yet experienced it is because you have not yet aligned with it. You have been conditioned to believe that it must take time, that you must work, struggle, and wait. But the truth is, the moment you assume something to be true, the moment you embody the feeling of already having it, reality begins to shift. Think of a radio. The frequency you tune into determines what you hear. If you are tuned into a station of lack, you will continue to experience lack. But if you shift your frequency to abundance, abundance must appear. It is not about waiting for it, it is about tuning into it now. The moment you align your mind with the end result, you place yourself in harmony with that reality, and the illusion of time begins to dissolve. Many people believe that manifestation is about attracting something from the outside world, but that is not true. You are not pulling something toward you, you are shifting yourself into the version of reality where it already exists. You are stepping into the version of yourself who already has what you seek. The unseen takes form the moment you accept it as real, not when time decides you are ready. Consider this. When you dream at night, entire worlds appear instantly. You do not question how long it took for the dream to be created, it simply is. In the same way, the reality you desire already exists in a dimension beyond time. Your only task is to step into it mentally and emotionally. The external world will follow. But what about delays? What about setbacks? These are not signs that your desire is far away. They are simply adjustments, realignments, the shifting of reality to bring you exactly what you need in the perfect way. When you feel impatient, when you feel as if things are not happening fast enough, remind yourself, it is already done. The seed is planted, the manifestation is assured, and the only thing required of you is unwavering faith. Time is not your enemy. It is not something standing in your way. The moment you stop seeing it as an obstacle and begin to understand that your desires already exist, you free yourself from the illusion of waiting. You begin to live in the end, to walk with the confidence of one who already possesses what they once sought. And as you do, the world around you will shift, effortlessly reflecting back to you the truth you have embraced. The greatest paradox of manifestation is this: the more you chase, the more what you desire runs from you. The more you grasp, the more it slips through your fingers. But the moment you release, the moment you surrender your need to control, when and how your desire unfolds, everything begins to flow effortlessly toward you. This is the power of detachment. Detachment does not mean giving up on what you want. It does not mean lowering your standards or abandoning your dreams. Instead, it means freeing yourself from the desperate need to make something happen. It is about knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and that the very act of clinging to an outcome often creates resistance. When you detach, you create space for what you desire to arrive in its most perfect form. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you squeeze your hand tightly, trying to keep as much as possible, the grains slip through your fingers. But if you keep your palm open, the sand remains effortlessly. This is how energy works. When you hold too tightly to an outcome, fearing that it will not happen unless you control it, you create tension. That tension sends a signal of lack, of doubt, of disbelief. And reality mirrors that back to you. But when you trust, when you let go of the need to force things into place, you allow the natural flow of life to bring you exactly what you desire in the most effortless way. Many people unknowingly block their own manifestations because they become obsessed with the timing and the process. They watch the clock, constantly checking to see if anything has changed. They analyze every detail, wondering if they are doing something wrong. But this very obsession keeps their desire at a distance. The energy of grasping says, "I don't have it yet." And as long as you affirm that state of not having, the universe must reflect that truth. Now, consider a different approach. Think of the times in your life when something wonderful happened effortlessly. Perhaps an opportunity fell into your lap, or a relationship developed naturally without effort. These moments happened not because you chased them, but because you were in alignment. You were at peace, unbothered by the when and how, and in that state of detachment, what you wanted had the freedom to come to you. This is why surrender is so powerful. When you release the need to control, you shift into a state of trust. You stop micromanaging the universe, and instead, you allow things to unfold in divine order. You recognize that just because you cannot see movement does not mean movement is not happening. The forces arranging your desires are always at work, but they function best when you step out of the way. Detachment is not passive. It is an act of supreme confidence. It says, "I know what I want is already mine, so I no longer feel the need to chase it." It allows you to focus on the present moment, to enjoy life as it is, without being consumed by what is still on its way. And ironically, this very ease, this ability to let go, is what accelerates manifestation. When you plant a seed in the soil, you do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You trust. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you allow nature to do its work. In the same way, once you set an intention, your only job is to trust that it is taking root. The when and how are not your concern. Your concern is simply to stay aligned, to remain in the state of already having, and to know that what is yours will find you at the right time. Let go. Let go of the timelines, the doubts, the fear that it might not happen. What is truly meant for you will never require you to beg, chase, or struggle. It will come when you relax, when you trust, and when you no longer need it to arrive to feel whole. Detachment is the key that unlocks the door to everything you have been seeking. Most people wait for their desires to manifest before they allow themselves to feel happy, confident, or at peace. They believe that once they see proof, once they hold the physical evidence in their hands, they can finally relax and feel fulfilled. But this is a mistake. Reality does not work that way. The world does not bring you what you want and then allow you to feel the emotions of having it. It is the other way around. You must first live in the feeling of fulfillment, and then the world will conform to match that state. Your inner world creates your outer world. Every experience you encounter, every opportunity that comes your way, and every delay you face is a reflection of your internal state. If you constantly affirm lack, waiting for something external to make you happy, you will remain in a state of waiting. But if you assume the feeling of already having, already being, already living your desired reality, the world must shift to mirror that truth. Imagine two people walking through life. One carries the energy of lack, always thinking about what they don't have, feeling frustrated that their desires have not yet arrived, questioning whether it will ever happen. The other carries the energy of fulfillment, moving with confidence, joy, and certainty as if their dreams have already been realized. These two people live in the same world, but their experiences will be vastly different. The one who feels lack will encounter more lack. The one who feels fulfilled will attract more abundance. Why? Because the world is a mirror. It can only reflect what you project from within. Think of an actor preparing for a role. If they were to play the part of a wealthy, successful individual, they would embody that character completely. They would walk, talk, and think like someone who already possesses wealth and success. They would not hesitate or question if the role was real because they have fully assumed the identity. In the same way, you must assume the identity of the person who already has what they desire. The moment you embody the feeling, you become that version of yourself, and the external world must follow. You may wonder, how can I feel fulfilled when my reality shows me otherwise? The answer is simple. Your reality is only a reflection of your past assumptions. What you see today is the result of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you held yesterday. If you want tomorrow to be different, you must change what you assume today. Close your eyes and imagine your desire fulfilled. How does it feel? Feel the relief, the joy, the excitement. Feel the certainty that it is already done. Walk through life carrying that energy, knowing that what you desire is not something far away, but something already yours. The moment you accept it as real in your mind, you set the forces of reality in motion. There is no need to look outside yourself for proof. The proof comes after you have claimed the feeling. If you check constantly to see if your manifestation has arrived, you are reaffirming that it is not here yet. But when you live in the end, when you maintain the inner state of fulfillment, regardless of what the external world shows, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your conviction. This is why those who expect success experience success. Those who expect love attract love. Those who walk in confidence receive opportunities that match their self-belief. It is not luck, it is law. The law that states that whatever you dominantly feel and assume must become your reality. So stop waiting, stop looking for signs. Stop believing that something must change before you can feel fulfilled. Choose to feel it now. Feel the gratitude, the peace, the excitement of knowing that it is already yours. And as you do, watch as the world bends, reshapes, and delivers exactly what you have claimed within. Many people believe that when they encounter obstacles, it is a sign that their desire is not meant to be. They assume that delays are denials, that setbacks mean they are on the wrong path. But this is a misunderstanding of how reality works. Every obstacle, every seeming delay is not a block. It is a sign that reality is rearranging itself in your favor. What looks like a setback is simply movement, an unseen force shifting everything into perfect alignment to bring you exactly what you need. Imagine you set an intention for something you deeply desire. You hold the vision, you affirm your belief, and then, suddenly, things seem to go wrong. An opportunity closes, a relationship ends, or you face unexpected difficulties. Your first instinct might be to doubt, to wonder if you did something wrong, to feel discouraged. But if you could see the bigger picture, you would realize that this so-called obstacle is actually part of the process. It is the universe clearing the path, removing what no longer serves you, and adjusting the circumstances so that what you truly desire can manifest in the best possible way. Think of a construction site. Before a new building can rise, the old structures must be demolished. The ground must be cleared, the foundation must be laid, and everything must be positioned correctly. If you were to look at the site during this process, it might seem like destruction, like chaos, but in reality it is preparation for something far greater. The same happens in your life. When you encounter difficulties, it is not because your desire is being taken from you, It is because the groundwork is being laid for its arrival. There are countless stories of people who thought they had failed, only to later realize that what seemed like failure was actually redirection. A job loss leads to a better opportunity, a rejection clears the way for something far greater, a delay prevents a mistake that could have taken them off course. The unseen hand of life is always at work, shifting and adjusting, ensuring that everything unfolds at the right time in the right way. The key is to trust the process. When obstacles arise, do not react with fear or frustration. Instead, remind yourself that this is simply movement. It is the shifting of reality, the unseen orchestration of events that are aligning in your favor. Instead of resisting, surrender. Instead of doubting, reaffirm your knowing. Your desire is still on its way. It is simply being arranged in the best possible manner. Consider a river flowing towards the ocean. If a rock appears in its path, the river does not stop. It does not turn back or question its journey. It simply flows around the obstacle, knowing that nothing can truly stop it from reaching its destination. This is how you must approach life. The delays and challenges are not roadblocks. They are redirections, adjustments that ensure you arrive at your destination in the most effortless way. So when things seem to go wrong, do not be disheartened. Look at every obstacle as a sign that things are moving. Know that behind the scenes, reality is rearranging itself in ways you cannot yet see. Your only task is to remain in the state of fulfillment, to continue walking with the confidence that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Let go of the need to control every step. Trust that the unseen forces at work are wiser than your limited perception. What seems like a delay today will soon be revealed as perfect timing. What appears to be a setback will be understood as a necessary step towards something greater. Obstacles are not signs to give up. They are signs that movement is happening. Keep going, keep believing. Your desire is already yours, and nothing can stand in the way of its fulfillment. Most people struggle with patience because they secretly doubt that what they desire is truly on its way. They watch the clock, checking and waiting, wondering if they are doing something wrong. They feel restless, looking for signs, searching for proof. But this impatience is a sign of mistrust. When you fully trust that everything arrives at its perfect time, impatience dissolves. You no longer need to chase, force, or control. Instead, you become a magnet for the very things you once pursued. Trust is the foundation of manifestation. The moment you declare a desire, reality begins to shift in unseen ways to bring it to you. But just like planting a seed in the ground, you must allow time for it to grow. No farmer plants a seed and then digs it up every day to check if it has sprouted. They trust the process. They water it. They give it sunlight. And they wait with the knowing that in due time, the seed will break through the soil and become a full-grown plant. The same is true for your desires. The moment you assume something is yours, reality begins moving to bring it into form. But if you constantly look around, searching for signs, questioning if it's happening, or feeling anxious about when it will arrive, you are disrupting the process. Impatience sends a message that you do not truly believe. It tells reality that you are unsure, that you are still doubting, and so it mirrors that uncertainty back to you. Patience is not about waiting idly. It is about knowing so deeply that you no longer feel the need to question. It is a quiet confidence, an inner calm that says, I already have it. I am simply allowing it to unfold. This state of trust is what makes you magnetic. When you relax into certainty, when you live as though your desire is already done, life moves effortlessly to confirm your assumption. Think of the things that have effortlessly come into your life. They often arrived when you were not grasping, not chasing, not forcing. When you are desperate for something, you create resistance. You push it further away because desperation is the energy of lack. But when you shift into trust, when you let go of the need to control the process, you make space for what you desire to flow to you naturally. Imagine two people trying to attract a relationship. One is impatient, constantly wondering why love has not arrived. They check their phone obsessively, overanalyze every interaction, and feel anxious about the timing. The other person, however, trusts. They live in the feeling of already being loved, enjoying life as if their ideal relationship is already a reality. They are patient, knowing that the right person will come at the perfect time. Which of these two is more magnetic? The one who is relaxed, certain, and aligned. The one who trusts instead of chases. The same principle applies to all things: money, success, opportunities. The moment you stop grasping, stop anxiously watching the clock, you free yourself. And in that freedom, what you once chased begins to chase you. Patience is not just about time, it is about belief. When you truly know that what you desire is already yours, there is no urgency. You do not need to rush, force, or prove anything. You walk with quiet certainty, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. So stop looking at the clock. Stop questioning when it will happen. Stop searching for proof. Instead, embody the energy of someone who already has it. Trust that the unseen forces of reality are working in your favor. Rest in the knowing that the perfect time is already set. And when that moment arrives, it will unfold effortlessly. Patience is not passive, it is powerful. It is the ultimate trust in the flow of life. And when you master it, you will no longer chase, you will attract. Everything you desire is already unfolding in perfect harmony. Time is not your enemy, it is simply the stage upon which reality arranges itself according to your assumptions. When you release the need to control, when you detach from impatience and live in the feeling of already having what you seek, the world must conform to your inner state. Obstacles are not barriers, they are signs that reality is shifting, making way for your desires in the best possible way. Trust is the key. Patience is the ultimate demonstration of faith. The moment you stop chasing and start knowing, what was once distant begins to move toward you effortlessly. Life is not something to struggle against, it is something to flow with. Everything comes to you at the right time, not a second too soon or too late. So let go of doubt. Walk with certainty. Live as though it is already done, because in truth it is. Thank you.